25 minutes before 11 o'clock. It is time for Damage Control. Joe Reichel is your host during this segment, and he's here. And if you have a question for Joe or a comment, the number is 622-9622. That is the WOCA Climate Control Source hotline. And good morning, Joe. How you doing?
Good morning.
Did I say your last name? Joe Reichel. Did I say your full name?
I don't know. Say it again.
Joe Reichel.
Close enough. You said it. Joe Reichel.
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Did you see this story about the sinkhole in the villages?
I did.
And what I was amazed at, that they were able to save the homes.
Well, they put a lot of concrete in there.
400, I have the story, 400 yards of grout, it says.
Yeah, that's a concrete and sand mix that they put in there.
45 days for it to harden. So those people are out of their houses for a month and a half.
Right. And one of them is an empty house that they rent out. So.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was on the news.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
The ladies that were planning on moving in there like Monday or whatever had canceled their trip because there's 3 ladies and one of them was ill, so they canceled the trip. So.
Well, that's good for them.
Good for them.
But the other house was occupied?
I don't really remember.
Okay. But it was just amazing because when I first saw the photos, I thought, well, those houses are done. They're going to be in the aquifer or something.
Well, there's going to be, more than likely, there's going to be substantial damage inside those homes that will need to be, patched and
might need to call you.
So, well, that is something we do. So.
That is the largest retirement community in America, I believe. Somebody told me that recently.
Yeah. I watched a comedian making some jokes about it. It was pretty funny.
I think I saw that. You posted it on Facebook?
I did.
Yeah, a lady comedian, right? Yeah.
It was kind of funny.
Yeah. So you also posted something with termites and
termites. Termites are something, especially this time of the year. The termites are on the move as the weather warms up, and this one that I was at yesterday, the picture that I posted yesterday was termites in a wood floor. So.
And my comment about that is it looked like it was hard to tell because it looked like the top part wasn't affected by the termites.
No.
Is that because the top part was actually a fake wood?
No, that's a real wood floor. Not real wood. That's a veneer is what they call that. So it's like a laminate with a wood of some sort. That floor in particular is a black walnut floor. So what they do is in the manufacturing process, they make these planks, they put a black walnut veneer over it, and then it's finished. If need be, that type of a wood floor can be sanded down, lightly sanded, and refinished. Whereas most of your laminate flooring, you can't do that with. It's not a real wood on the face. It's a veneer. Or not veneer,
So how extensive was that damage? I mean, what you showed was like one plank, but...
Well, and fortunately the homeowner caught it early.
Oh, good.
So the area that looks like is damaged, without opening it all up and going in there, there's probably about a 6-foot area that there's spots that are showing signs where the termites are under it. So they've made appointments with the termite and pest control company to come out Thursday morning and do a termidor treatment, and that's where they'll drill into the concrete slab and that spray the termidor, the termite poison everywhere under the house, and that will get rid of them. So
quite often in the course of your show, we talk about damage that's been done.
Right.
In the article with the sinkhole and with the termidor folks, because we've spoken to them as well, they talk about preventive. Do you guys at Damage Control, do you guys do preventive things?
Well, there's things that we help homeowners with as far as taking care of maintenance and things like that in their homes. But pretty much we don't really do anything preventative except for pre-storm board up, our service for that we offer if a hurricane or something is coming, tropical storm or hurricane is coming to the area and you want your house boarded up, that's something that we can do. But as far as preventative services, we don't really really do anything like that. We wholeheartedly encourage homeowners to do preventative maintenance and things that would prevent disasters and things like that. And we were just talking about this morning, even the fact of just having a fire extinguisher. Fire extinguisher in a home is something that is preventive maintenance or something.
Yeah.
But very few people ever. Sadly, few people have a fire extinguisher in their home, and then
that's really a good idea.
It is, and if you don't have a fire extinguisher in your home, or if you do have, does everybody in the house know where it is?
Right.
Does everybody in the house know how to use it?
Where would you keep it? I would keep it near the stove. I don't have one either.
Well, you would want it in the kitchen area. For sure in the kitchen area, or in your garage. That would be another spot, or near your garage. Typically like a laundry room, something like that. So,
I mean, what a wonderful thing to prevent a huge catastrophe.
Most of the fires that we see are a kitchen or cooking related fire.
I know. I mean, how many times this happened to me once? I actually had the frying pan catch on fire from butter or whatever was in it.
Right.
Okay? And my first thought was, I got to get a wet towel. Well, you know how long it takes to get a wet towel? You got to get a towel.
First, you got to get the towel, then you got to get it wet.
Yeah.
And if your sink is close to the fire, you don't want to be too close to that. So.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. You keep talking about keeping it near the stove. If you've left the kitchen for some reason, and all of a sudden there's a cooking fire on the stove.
Yeah.
You're not going to want to get close to it to get the fire extinguisher. So I wouldn't keep it necessarily.
Oh, I got you right.
Keep it
sort of kind of nearby.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that'd be best.
And this is a call-in show, so let's take some calls. By the way, you all are invited to call in to Joe Reichel. The number is 622-9622. That is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe.
Yeah, good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
Say, I moved down here to Florida in 1995, and I brought along with me several fire extinguishers. They're still showing green on the little indicator. Can I still trust those to function after, let's say, 15, 20 years?
I really don't know the life expectancy of a fire extinguisher, but I mean, it should say somewhere even on it as far as the life expectancy. That's a great question, and I really don't know the answer. I would assume if it's still showing green, but fire extinguishers, aren't really something. They're not something that's really that expensive. It's rather inexpensive. Yeah. So, I mean, it wouldn't even be. I wouldn't feel it would be a bad idea to even replace them if there's any doubt.
Fire extinguisher. And let's say go out in the backyard or somewhere out in the open, and just to see if it works. And it did work. Does that mean that's once it's used a little bit, it's no good anymore, and I can't restore it?
I believe that is the case with most fire extinguishers. Once they're used up or used, it's done. So I believe so.
Yeah. I suppose the best idea would be to take it to some extinguisher business. I think I know where there is one, and then just have them look at it and see what they think about it, to play it safe.
Yeah, there are several companies around. You could probably even call them, and maybe even looking on the fire extinguisher itself, there might, I would assume, be a toll-free number or a number that you could call for customer service information on that.
And Dan wanted me to mention that we here have ours inspected.
Yes. Most commercial buildings, all commercial buildings have to have them inspected, and that's a yearly inspection, I believe, where these companies come and they inspect it and make sure that everything is okay, and that's, per the fire marshal.
I was wondering if you took it to the local fire department, if they would take a look at it and give you an idea of what you got.
They probably could. That would be a great idea. I know they would definitely know more about it than I do.
Do they charge us?
Okay,
No.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks a lot, Joe.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Wait, I'm turning around to ask Dan. It's
a charge. You have to.
That's what I thought.
You have to pay for that. That's something that all businesses have to it's a requirement of all businesses to make sure that you have a fire extinguisher and that it is up to date. And it's a yearly inspection that they do on them. So
it's a good idea.
But these are the bigger, it's not the.
And
the
do you buy
home.
them like in Sears or something, or where would you buy a fire extinguisher?
I know the home supply companies, Lowe's, Home Depot. You can also, different companies do supply, fire extinguisher companies supply them as well. So.
The phone line is open if you'd like to speak to Joe. The number is 622-WOCA, the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline. By the way,
okay,
on the photo you posted on Facebook of the termite floor, it was shared. Did you notice it was shared?
I didn't notice
it was shared by my dog.
Okay.
And she commented, "Ruh-roh."
Ruh-roh. I like it.
Since you hadn't seen it on your own, I thought I would tell you about it.
There are, and there's companies out there that even use termite. Part of their termite inspections they have dogs that do that.
What, they sniff them out? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yep.
Termites have a smell? To a dog they do, huh?
To the trained dog,
Isn't it amazing what a dog can smell?
It is amazing.
How do they train them to do that stuff?
Probably hours and hours of work, I would assume.
Too bad they can't smell fleas. They'd stay away from them.
They would avoid them, yeah.
You can't smell flea, you can smell termite. Wrong bug.
They train dogs to search out all kinds of things, so.
Yeah.
I know Turner Pest Control, they use dogs for termite inspections.
Isn't that something?
Yep, they've got a dog, I believe in the Jacksonville area, that depending on...
Wow. One dog in the whole state.
Well, they may have more, but I know they have, this area, they have one in Jacksonville.
But he feels pretty important.
Should be.
That dog.
Cute little dog. If you go on their website, you can see a picture of it. I think it's a little Jack Russell.
Huh.
So
nice.
A while ago, I saw a video of it. It's pretty cool.
Really? Mm-hmm. And so, oh gosh, when that dog is at your house looking for termites, you hope that dog is not excited about something, right?
Well, I hope he's not excited about finding termites.
Yeah. Did I ever ask you this before? If you had a pile of wood way as far away from your house as possible, would that actually be a way to keep termites away? Because there's your food, pal. Don't come to the house.
Or it's an attractant. Depends how you look at it. Termites are the subterranean. I think they're called subterranean termite. They go everywhere. So, really, there's not anything that you can do, and there's nothing that you can do outside of having your house treated and inspected yearly for termites in order to avoid getting them. I say that because this house that we went to yesterday, where the termites are showing up, is about 20 feet, easily 20 feet inside the house. So it's not like they came up to the edge of the wall and just started gnawing on the house.
Oh, that's interesting.
These termites went underneath the house and came up, probably, this is all speculative, there were some cracks in the floor.
Okay.
One of the cracks, when he put this wood floor down, this wood floor has only been down 4 to 6 months ago, was when he put it down.
Oh, wow.
So when he did this, he treated the cracks with a quickcrete caulking.
Okay.
In order to seal the cracks. So whenever you need to get a hairstyle like that.
Oh.
Whenever they treated the floor for the cracks.
There's a speaker on out there.
He might be. That's some serious hair. I only wish I still had hair like that.
Oh, goodness.
So anyway, when
you cut your hair like that. Why not?
I should. It wouldn't look that good.
Sometimes when they hear us, by the way, out there, they don't realize it's us.
Probably not.
They think we're just talking, and there's a radio on out there.
Right.
They don't think we are the radio.
They don't connect the two. So anyway, this guy, the homeowner that was working, and a good friend of mine, he treated the floor and treated the cracks with a caulking or a silicone floor concrete.
And it didn't work?
Well, he treated everything, all of these cracks, except for where it goes under the cabinets.
Oh, no.
He was doing the living room. So the thought is these termites probably came under the house, came up through what was not caulked underneath the cabinets, and that's near where they've started to eat.
But he wasn't in danger of falling through because there's
It's a concrete slab.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that's that. Fortunately, he's caught the problem. Soon.
That's the only problem with wood floors, I think. Wow. Maybe here. I'm going to say it. Then you can tell me what could be done. We don't have the house in my family anymore because we sold it, but it was my mom and dad's house, and they had this beautiful wood flooring that went right up against it was mostly their dining room, and it went right up against a bathroom. And if the toilet overflowed, which it did rarely, but once in a while, and one time it did, and the water went under the wood.
Right.
Which meant that my dad had to go and buy whatever he bought to replace all that wood.
Right.
And tear it up. So it was like, wow, all that work for one, clogged toilet.
Right. And that's the thing, as far as even what we do, when there is a water leak or something like that, you have to take care of all that. You have to make sure, for one, get it all dried out.
Yeah.
And two, if it is a sewage, a backup in sewage or a sewage loss like that, everything does have to go. You can't save anything, simply because of the bacteria and things that are in that. So that's something that's regulated.
And I was wondering if you were going to say, well, here's what you could have done to prevent the water from getting under it. Is there a way to kind of seal the edge so that doesn't happen?
Well, it depends. A lot depends on the flooring that you're using and the type of home that you have. So yes, there's things that can be done, and I know people that their bathrooms, all of their bathrooms in their house, kind of a step down into them, just to keep, if there is a water, something happens in the bathroom, the water's staying in there to a certain degree. That seems to be going a little bit too far, but there again, you always want to make sure that you have your insurance is up to date and you are properly covered. And having regular conversations with your insurance agent to make sure that that all of your assets are covered.
By the way, this is kind of an off topic, but the filler that you guys put in some doors in the back here,
right?
And there's this yellow like puffy stuff that protects
foam insulation,
the air from coming in and going out, right?
That's a spray foam insulation.
A spray foam insulation. Now, there was a story in the news like 2 weeks ago about a raft in South Florida that had a Spanish Bible in it, and they couldn't find any person there. But they speculate that somebody escaped from Cuba. Did you see this story?
I did not.
Okay. So what amazed me is apparently this was a carpenter, somebody who knew how to work with like what you guys can do, and had access to that stuff.
Foam insulation?
And literally made the raft like unsinkable by using a lot of, he was filling things with that stuff, and I guess to create a raft, and he came over to Florida and got out and probably living here somewhere now, and
maybe he needs a job.
Probably does.
Building boats, building rafts. I've never heard of using it for that, but that'd be kind of neat.
Well, it looked homemade. If you saw the photo of it,
I'm
looked
sure
homemade.
It's more for function and not form.
Yeah, he just wanted to get out of there.
Right.
Gosh.
He probably wouldn't want to spend too much time on it.
Yeah. You're up to something, aren't you? That doesn't look like something.
I don't know how much spray foam insulation it would take to build a raft.
It looked pretty big. I mean, it looked like a normal-sized raft. That's what it looked like.
Like a 2, 3, 4-person thing?
Yes. Yeah, and they left a Spanish Bible in there, so I don't know if they did that on purpose or...
Probably not. Most people like their Bible.
They just forgot it.
Probably forgot it.
So this is beautiful weather?
This is good weather, which is nice, but at the same time, we are heading into the spring storms, and we want to be prepared for those. So make sure you're any overhanging trees over your house, make sure limbs aren't touching the house. Trees leaning towards your house, you might want to have checked. Make sure you're, especially this time of the year as we get more rains, Homeowners would want to make sure that their gutters are cleaned out. Make sure that your valleys are not the valleys of your roof, or even against like dormers or second stories. Wherever the roofs are touching there, make sure that leaves and debris aren't piling up, because those are spots where leaks will occur. So and your gutters, you want to make sure that they're clean, because once water fills those up, it will go back up underneath the shingles and into the house. So you're talking rotten wood and more and more damage. So,
and just one more thing to say about the sinkhole situation in the villages is they had reported somebody had reported a sinkhole, and the company that eventually filled it with 400 yards or whatever of the what do they call it, grout?
Yep, the grout.
They were there already to fill in this smaller sinkhole, and then when it started raining, I guess on Friday, it kind of washed it away.
Everything opened up below
and made it worse. Yeah. So I mean, how do you know that you've really got it? How do they know that it's not the potential for it to happen again?
Well, and that's where whenever you said there's a 45-day wait, they have periods where you have to, after a sinkhole has been repaired, that you have to wait so long before you start any repairs to the home. I believe structural repairs you want to wait up to 90 days. I believe is what it is, because that way all the settling will be done, and everything will make sure that everything is repaired. So. And
a telltale sign of that: cracks in the wall, cracks in the driveway.
If you've got cracks in your driveway, and and there maybe no trees around the home, but you've got irregular movement. Maybe your doors aren't shutting right in the house, or a lot of times at the doorways, you'll have a crack that's going through the drywall, or even just a shift in the drywall and the ceiling. There'll be a crack or something like that.
Remember, there's a speaker out there.
Yeah, that's
all right. So anything and everything can happen to the home.
Yeah, that's. Regular maintenance is important when you have a home, to make sure that you're taking care of things, and because you never know whenever these things might develop into further problems. So, and speaking about that, making sure that you are having, termite treatments done, and, termite inspections.
Well, that's the one insect. I shouldn't say this because it's probably true for all insects, but that's the one insect I would go to a professional for.
Well, I had a homeowner last week talk to me about bees. I guess
Dan had a bee problem.
I can see that.
Did you ever see the photos he took of the bees?
I don't think so.
Oh, have him show you the photos.
Shared them with me, but yeah, the homeowner telling me he has a swarm of bees in his attic, and he's starting to see yellowing in the ceiling because of the honey and whatnot in there. So he's got a beekeeper coming to take the bees out of there, or the majority of them.
Well, that's a good idea, and so they'll be put to use rather than they're just killed.
Oh yeah. That's a money-making thing.
You got to have Dan show you the pictures. It was inside his wall, I think, by his dryer or by his laundry room or something.
How cool!
It was the whole wall. He thought it was a little tiny thing, and he opened it up. It was the whole wall.
Infinite supply of honey right there.
right.
Just put a little spout on there.
yeah, your own homegrown honey. I don't know what he ever did about it.
Tap that.
Was it in the place you're in now? No, it was the old place. Your place moved out. Okay.
Interesting.
Do you have the picture still? Okay. How come Joe's music isn't playing? Oh, I put the wrong thing.
Damn it!
There we go.
I was just gonna start singing. I was gonna do it.
It was that other serious music.
Serious music.
All right, what is your phone number, Joe?
Something we don't like is serious music. My phone number is 352-817-6574, or you can email me, joe@damageflorida.com.
And this is WOCA Ocala. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Affirmative action programs getting dealt a blow as the Supreme Court upholds Michigan's ban on using race as a factor in college admissions. Justices in a 6-2 ruling saying the state's voters had the right to change the constitution of the state to prohibit colleges and universities from taking account race in admission decisions. Ukraine getting a show of support with a visit from Vice President Joe Biden, who levels this warning at Moscow.
We call on Russia to stop supporting men hiding behind masks in unmarked uniforms, sowing unrest in eastern Ukraine.